Live. Live. Hello, guys.
Hey, guys, it's Luthien and Emrys.
Dang.
She told me to introduce us, and I just completely fell flat on my face.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's been a
Hi,
long
guys.
day.
Welcome to the live stream. It's Girls with Sabers coming to you on a soft Saturday evening.
Yes.
And it's not snowing by me, thank God.
Me neither.
Yeah. Let us know if you can hear us. I think they can hear us.
Yes. Let us know in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And that will help us just be at ease.
Yeah. Let us know if
us.
our volume's good. Oh, they can hear us.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good times.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Lady Reylo of Shalott is sipping Reylo tea. That's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yes. We're going to need some tea. We're going to need some relaxation.
Yeah. We're going to need a strong brew. Good. Everyone can hear us. Yeah, it's not snowing where I am, praise be, but it was practically a Thunderdome by my house today. I had robins going at it because everyone's supercharged because they're ready to mate and make a home and, have their babies. So, like, robins were going at it, blue jays over here, robins over there. I was like, oh my God. Welcome to Thunderdome. It was crazy today.
The wonders of spring.
Yeah, the wonders of spring. Exactly. So, everyone's here. Let's, Anna, Rural Farm Boy, Lady Shalott, Carissa, Gal, Rosman, Sheila, thank you for joining. Marjorie.
Comet.
I see a link, but that's fine. Comet, trust you. Oh, yeah. Okay, Dale's in the house. Awesome. Ava. Cool.
Oh, gosh. I have to breathe.
Allie. Hi. Okay. Miss Suki staying up late. Thank you so much.
Thank you, friend.
Okay, Amanda Sennett, thank you so much. Elena Johansson, awesome. Oh my God, 2 a.m. 12, 1, 2. Jeez, people are staying up late. Will we talk about the leaks? Maybe.
Maybe
we'll talk about leaks. Yes. We got to get to Padme Skywalker in the house. Man, we're getting everyone. Darth Revan, Kylo Ren, Padme. That's awesome. Nice. Reylo Rising, Aaliyah, the Red F, Tracy. Nice. All right. Let's get into this. Let's discuss, for those of you who are not aware, a comic was released a few days ago entitled Star Wars Darth Vader Dark Visions #3. In this comic, sorry, I just had to kind of expel that energy. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. We have 57 watching, 14 likes. We can do a little better, guys. Come on. Yeah, in the comic, we start off with a no-name female nurse / medic lady. And right off the bat, we see her narrating the whole comic. And we find out that she is obsessed with Darth Vader. And that is, to say the least, obsessed to the point of probably stalkery, very
obsessed.
Yes, more than obsessed, though.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, Vader comes off his ship. He walks past her. She gets scolded to go to the med bay. she does. He passes her, and she, internally freaks out, and she has all these
Fantasies, basically.
fantasies about being with him. And this
very
this
innocent fantasies, I would say. I mean,
very what?
Pretty innocent fantasies, like something that a little girl or a teenage girl would think about. So like,
I wouldn't say innocent. I would say immature.
Yeah, that's a better word. Immature.
Yeah.
But it's
definitely immature fantasies. Very probably like reined in Harlequin romance fantasies, and that's especially how it was drawn.
Yeah.
So anyway, you go through the entire comic. She's having these fantasies. She's ended up keeping what she probably would refer to as trinkets in her little room area, like where her bed is and whatever. And they're all these like bloodied pieces coming off of Darth Vader's helmet or his
cape
and this and that, or like what actually came out of him, like if he was battling someone and it got stuck in his arm or whatever, like she's kept it. So you see all this, and then she gets called back to the med bay and to assist again, but yet she doesn't really assist because the doctor keeps yelling at her. So in this rush of leaving, she finds his cape. Well, she keeps the cape, and then she has one more fantasy. And then the doctor, she left the door of her room open in the midst of this little fantasy she's having. And the doctor sees it and, rips it away from her and is chastising her, to say the least. Then he finds the trinket box because she had that out. And he rips that from her and throws it into the trash compactor. Well, she goes
into
the trash compactor to try to find it, and then she's smelling like garbage. Then she thinks, oh my god, and then she completely like loses it, and you don't think she could lose it even more, but she does. So she goes to Vader's chambers, which are never locked because he doesn't feel the need to lock them, because why would anyone, he's like, why would anyone come in to kill him? I mean, he just sends it in the Force anyway. So she goes in, and he's sitting in his little or big, pod, whatever the heck. And she goes up to him and is professing her love for him, and then he sticks her with his laser sword, and she dies. Like, he kills her. Then the last thing you see in the comic is he's like calling to the bridge, and he turns to look at her in the doorway, and her body is on the ground. And he says, come clean up this garbage, whatever. So he legit calls her garbage. So that's the main gist of the comic. The problems, which are many, come from what this all symbolizes. And some people would say Vader would never say that. And I feel that's semi-true, but the fact that she came from the trash compactor, probably reeking of garbage, it was probably it had a little bit of dual meaning there. So I'm not saying that Vader would never have said something like that, but the fact that she did probably reek of garbage is, he says, get this garbage out of my quarters. So it totally had a double meaning. The fact that she not only reeked of garbage because she just came from the trash compactor, but the fact that he completely looked down upon her.
Well, what she said to him is very, I'm sorry, I should have let you finish. Go ahead.
That's okay. I was like, that's the gist of it. But now we're going to go back to the beginning and explain why this is such an issue and why so many people had such a problem with it. And to both Emrys and I just want to say right off the bat that we are not attacking anyone.
No.
During this live stream. We are giving our opinions about this comic. And if someone liked it, kudos. Go read the comic again. Share it with your pals. I'm glad that you are finding enjoyment in it, but we didn't, and a lot of other people didn't either. So, but we are not attacking the writers. We are not attacking the artists. We are giving our opinion, which we are, you know, pretty much entitled to do on our channel. And we're critiquing this comic.
This is basically our analysis of it.
Correct.
Our interpretation.
Yes.
So we're going it from that perspective.
Right.
So it's more of looking at the wording, looking at the images, and
Yes.
seeing what they suggest, not only about women in this universe, but also fandom, also shipping, also Reylo in general, because basically the community that we belong to and the community that we love, or the Reylos in this community, felt very attacked in this comic, and I think there is due reason why.
Yeah. So when we talk about what the writer of this comic has said on Twitter, we are going off what he has said. We are not attacking him. Now, people who have been involved with this comic have said that, oh, it doesn't attack any part of a fandom and this and that and blah, blah, blah. We certainly can give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they didn't want to attack anyone and this is just their version of Harley Quinn or whatever the heck. But there is plenty of what we feel, and a lot of other people feel, is evidence that, in our opinion, supports that this was a blatant attack. And if it was meant to be funny, it's not funny at all.
No.
So, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
I would like to start out with the cover, and I'm going to attempt to do a screen share, guys, so just hold on. But I know a lot of you who are Reylos out there know that Phantom of the Opera is often compared to Reylo. And I am a huge Phantom of the Opera fan. I have been so since I was about 13 years old. And I just want to show you a side-by-side of one of the most iconic pictures of Reylo, and see if you can see any similarities between the comic cover and Phantom of the Opera itself. Luthien, can you see that on the screen?
Yep, I can see it. Guys, let us, well, blah, blah, blah. Hey, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, everyone who has already been here. Welcome to everyone who is now in here, starting off fresh. So let us know if you can see this side by side. Emrys, I can see the side by side. So that probably means everyone else can see it as well. But so yeah, this is the side by side, and we are now comparing to, yep, everyone can see it. Phantom of the Opera. From their stance to what she's doing, the no-name girl is doing to Vader's helmet, to what Christine is doing to the Phantom. The sleeves on both dresses are so similar as well. It's obvious. It's obvious that this was a complete and utter parallel.
And that's one of her fantasies that she has, probably the most iconic of the fantasies she has. And there was one in particular that really reminded me of a Reylo piece of art. This is Halo Ren the First, or Halo Ren the First. This is one of her Phantom of the Opera, Beauty and the Beast paintings. And this is the one in the comic.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I said some of her fantasies are I think immature is a better word, but some of them are almost on a fairy tale very idealistic of what she thinks Vader is. She sees Vader as someone who is her protector. There are times in the comic where he threatens her boss, and as some of the some of the comments suggested, her boss is extremely disrespectful to her. And so when he force chokes the boss and when he force pushes the boss in the wall, she interprets that as someone who's going to rescue her. She also interprets that as someone who is alone, like she is alone. And to me, it so saddens me that someone in such a vulnerable position would be mocked like that, because that's one of the first things she says when she goes to Vader's chamber. She goes, you don't, basically this is not a word verbatim quote of what she says, but she says, you don't have to be alone. So it's just.
She also fantasizes about pulling his mask off,
which is another Phantom of the Opera.
Yes. But you can see that this parallel between her in her fantasy dancing with Vader to this drawing of that Kylo Ren the First, who is a wonderful, beautiful artist, and who we featured her art significantly.
Yeah.
So a huge shout out to her. She is a beautiful artist. But you can see how those peep our new logo, guys. I love it. It's so dope. Sorry, it's like complete tangent, but I can't stop looking at it because it's so awesome. It's like humble brag. Shout out to Emrys, and there is another for this logo. It was originally Emrys's design, and there is another updated it a bit, but they both worked on it, and I feel like kudos to them. Is flipping phenomenal. Anyway, so totally lost my train of thought because our logo is so dope.
We were talking about
Kylo Ren the First.
Yes.
Yes. So you can totally see the parallel between the Beauty and the Beast type dance and then the dance that Garbage Girl, for lack of a better name, because she didn't get one. Speaking of that, yeah. So this writer on Twitter is now receiving this barrage of tweets, and he responds to one and said, someone said, "Oh, you didn't give her a name," and went on. And he goes, "Oh, well, I mean, I looked at her as the heroine." I'm like, you looked at this woman as a heroine, yet you didn't name her. But yet you had the audacity to call her garbage at the end. So you just called your heroine garbage. I can't even.
I think that's from Vader's perspective, but even then, why is she a heroine?
No, but still, the writer now is writing this.
Yeah.
So, for all intents and purposes, the writer just called her garbage. No other name. You don't even have the doctor calling her by any name except stupid idiot.
Yeah.
So not only is she garbage, she's a stupid idiot. And forget the fact that whether she's crazed, manic, obsessed, no matter, this character now is mentally unstable. And how can it not be representing the female side of this fandom? I don't care who you ship. some of this is representing all the females in the fandom. Whether you are a Poe stan, a Finn stan, whoever, whatever, Kylo, Ben, I don't care. This is not okay. And to take it a step further, now they are ridiculing the Reylo side of the fandom. So this goes a step further now. So this has many tiers. And the bottom tier is Reylo, and this was an absolute all-out attack, which you can see by those side-by-side images.
I would like to say Dale made a really good point of about Vader. Vader wouldn't take something like that, especially with Padme always on his mind. We're not making any criticism on Vader's behavior in the comic.
No.
Because Vader acted in this comic as Vader would act. I mean,
yes.
it's horrific and it's violent and it's disgusting. And of course, I'm making no apology. I'm not.
Right, we're not excusing his actions.
Excusing it, but he is the big bad in this. Like, he is full-on villain. So this is not a critique on Vader's character and how it's represented in the comic. This is a critique of how a fandom is represented in this comic, and how women who have crushes on villains are represented in this comic. And that's what we're discussing here. And of course, this is our reaction. This is our interpretation. And if you have a different one, of course, your opinions are welcome as well. As long as you keep it respectful, as we wish to keep it respectful, then please feel free to share. I'm sorry, Luthien, go ahead.
No. I feel that the only thing that was a bit what's the word? The whole thing was abhorrent. But the only thing I feel that was a tad bit out of character for Vader was saying that garbage line at the end. Now, could he have possibly said that in the height of his anger, malice, throw any other proper adjective in there? Yes, he possibly could have, but we have never seen him do anything like that so far in canon to someone else, especially female related. Now, things can change, and that's fine, but we never even got... Sure, we saw him lash out in the middle of the comic, throwing the doctor against the wall, well, because of the female medic. But that wasn't truly out of character for him. I mean, we've seen him go off the handle before at, like, little things. We've seen him choke out people for less. So, but to turn around and say, get this garbage out of here, again, whatever he said.
I'll tell you why that word in particular bothers me, is that is a word that is attached to Reylo.
Yes, I was going to say that it's so out of place for Vader, because it's what they call the Reylo fandom. They literally, that is the moniker that they have attached to the Reylo fandom, is garbage. It's the garbage fandom. And that was just the nail in the coffin for this comic, in my mind. Yep. Well, Reylo trash, they don't call it Reylo trash. They literally call it garbage, because a lot of people will call themselves Reylo trash. But it's more of like oh my god, I'm total Reylo trash. Like, I love reading all the fan fiction, and I'm like totally, I'm totally a sucker for it. Yeah. So it's
But there's synonyms for each other, and the fact that
yes.
she's scavenging through the garbage, the trash.
Yes.
And just,
you see her wiping up afterwards, like she's looking through medical waste. So all that she's doing is refuse and garbage related. It's just go on. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to be like at a loss for words throughout this.
It's very difficult. I'm just going to go be flat out honest. It is very difficult to get through this because we're a little bit
it's hard because we have devoted ourselves to this channel to try to shed light on what Reylo really is. And to try to help people see that it's more than just Phantom of the Opera. It's more than Hades and Persephone, and it's pulling from all these tropes. So, and so many other people agree with us. You can't help but take it personal when you see a garbage comic like this come out and it's an outright attack. We feel personally attacked. Not that they're like, oh, this is girls with sabers. No, but I mean, it's hard not. We're so personally invested in trying to explain through literature and it's.
If you look at, and the reason we say it's more than just calling her garbage. If you look at the fantasies are things that you see in Reylo fandom that are repeated in images, like Phantom of the Opera. You see many Phantom of the Opera Reylo AUs, and there are side-by-side comparisons of Kylo Ren and Rey, where you can see that J.J. Abrams used Phantom of the Opera to pull from in Takodana. So there's definitely that case. You also have a fantasy that she has that she's a Sith Lord with Vader, and she can force choke and she can force push, and she's like working in battle with him. And you see that with all these Dark Rey Reylo fan fictions. I mean, there's several things that feel very Reylo. And I mean, I think we're also coming from a very sensitive place because we of Reylos have felt more vulnerable and more attacked here lately.
Yeah.
However, we have been attacked from the very beginning. I mean, and we have discussed this on this channel. Reylos have been given very little respect. And very little freedom to just be happy in this ship.
Yeah.
Like it's
like we are always like, I feel once we have gotten like our ship has grown from a dinghy to like a battleship, all of a sudden we get kamikazed from the sky. And I'm not saying that like to I'm sorry if anyone has PTSD about wartime battles and issues. I'm just like giving a metaphor here. So it wasn't insensitive. I'm just saying. So, but that's how it feels like. We are being, once we get what we feel is like confirmation or a win, and we're all ecstatic, all of a sudden, bam, we get an attack. I see some super chats, which I'm going to address. First, I see Diminished Comet. The writer is speaking through Vader, and he speaks for the gatekeeping fanboys. Get this garbage out of my quarters equals get Reylo out of my Star Wars.
Exactly.
That's exactly how I'm going to go up to Jared. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat. Trash started as an insult. That's why we specifically use it for ourselves and why I put it on a shirt.
It's kick it to the man.
It's like I also feel it's a nod to like trashy romance novels. Like there are people who say they don't read that stuff, and then they go home and they read that stuff. So it's like I'm a complete Reylo trash. Like I give all of myself into anything and all Reylo. So for the people who don't like it and you want to be called a proud Reylo, more power to you. For the people who call themselves Reylo trash, more power to you. But they're taking a term and turning it and putting a positive spin on it. So I'm not yay or nay on either. I'm very indifferent to Reylo trash or proud Reylo, but I'm just saying that's what the trash signifies. So thank you, Jared, for your super chat.
Our community is being attacked. And I mean, we are protective of Reylo communities. I mean, we just are, because we've been through the thick and thin with you guys. I mean, that's one of the reasons we set up this community is Lucy and I felt like we could barely make a comment in the Star Wars video that was even remotely about Reylo, and it was just, it targeted horrible comments. And I'm not talking about disagreements. I'm talking about
I'm not laughing at you, sorry. No, super chat.
That's okay. That's okay. It's just, and I'm gonna switch just a little bit and talk about.
Before you do, we have another super chat. Thank you, Allison. Just showed up. Welcome. Who do I need to fight? I love you, Allison. Don't go on Twitter. Thank you for the super chat. We're not fighting anyone. We are getting our words out in the live stream. We're not gonna
choir, you know.
We're not gonna fight anyone.
Yeah. I think it's just I think it feels like the female voice is not respected in this fandom. And when I say that, I'm not talking about all Star Wars fans, or, you know, I'm like, there are some incredible guys in our community, and we shout you out, and we love you because you're so respectful. Even if you ship or don't ship Reylo, all the guys that are part of our community are just incredible. But it seems like there are some guys in the Star Wars community that go after Reylos like I've never seen a ship being so attacked, where it becomes a personal attack to our character. And I feel like I feel like this is another way of attacking shipping and this whole idea of people loving the romance of Star Wars and equating it to being stalkers and being obsessed and things of that nature. I was in discussion with another guy about this, and I have every respect for him, but I feel like this is my only analogy. It would feel like if a guy read a comic about Princess Leia, and Princess Leia attacks you, like treats Jabba you the way that she treats Jabba, it feels like that. It feels like someone that you have a crush on reached from the comic and like really made the attack personal to the reader instead of the attack to the character. And the author who wrote this comic did say that he saw this girl as a heroine. But I would really like anyone's opinion, because I just don't see it. How did this girl act as a heroine? I agree that she is the protagonist of the story, but I don't see how any way she had any advocacy in any of her actions. Like, it seems like she was a victim from the very beginning, and there was no power given to her where she could in some ways make any like heroic type of decision or stand up for herself or anything. It didn't seem like a heroine. It seemed like the song of a victim and giving darkness instead of somewhat of a. Am I making any sense, Lucy?
You are, and I think the next super chat will help explain it more in full. Jared, thank you for the super chat. Allison also sent another super chat. She asked, is this comic canon? It is. It's not just some fanboy comic. This comic is canon, unfortunately. But yeah, it's canon. We personally don't feel Kathleen Kennedy, this even made it to her desk. I think the comic side of everything is probably separate from what she deals with. So it made it to someone's desk, not hers. That person signed off on it. And now, because there's no way, I'll eat crow if we find out Kathy signed off on this. But I personally believe Emrys too, a lot of other people feel this never made it to her desk. She would never sign off on something like this. And I'm not holier than thou Kathleen Kennedy supporter. No. But knowing the type of person Kathleen Kennedy is, she would never have signed off on a comic like this at all.
Most people in Lucasfilm would never sign
Never, off. Exactly. I mean, so thank you for the super chat, Allison. Back to Jared's. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jared Montauk. I personally enjoyed the comic because I am a fan of the tragic Harley Joker dynamic. I feel bad that it does in some ways attack our Reylo fandom. Jared, again, thank you so much for the super chat. And I agree with you. I saw a Harley and Joker dynamic in this comic. It's undeniable. I see it's there. And in that regard, I agree with you. It's hard to enjoy something. We never got backstory. And maybe we weren't, say they didn't go after the Reylo fandom, and we were never supposed to get a backstory on this. Fine, I get it. But we didn't get backstory. With Harley and Joker, we get backstory. We get a foundation and building blocks. So we're led up to, we get names. This female medic, we didn't even get a name, you know? Yes, Harley Quinn had a name, she had a backstory, and she had a life.
She had an advocacy in this. Like,
yes.
She was an educated woman who
yes.
was first Joker's. I can't remember if she was a doctor, so it would have been a psychiatrist.
Yes.
And then through that discussion, she developed sympathy. She started falling in love with the Joker. So she decided to give up her respectful life and become Harley Quinn. I mean, she chose that. She was an advocate of making that decision. This girl isn't. She's given no respect in any sort of way. No, agency in her actions. And it's just...
Yeah.
Sorry.
and no, don't apologize. And I can see what they did. Oh, they made this female character a medic, and she's got to be smart. I mean, she works in the med bay, but that doesn't. Oh, and I just completely lost my train of thought because Darth Revan's in the house.
He has that effect.
It'd be one thing if I'd see her more of a heroine. And this comic more about Darth Vader, whose name is on the comic. If she were the doctor in this scenario, she would be the one to be working on it, working on him, healing him, whatever the heck the doctor does to Darth Vader. Puts on a back patch. I don't know. But that's not what we got. We didn't get a doctor who was starting to, after, months or years of patching Darth Vader up, developed feelings for him. And, and she was like the only person he could trust. But then all of a sudden she comes out and says she loves him, and then like that obsession has built. No, that's not what we got. That could have been a realm they might have explored if they weren't attacking this part of our fandom. I would have been more inclined to accept a comic like that. But that's not what we got. That's not what they did for their heroine of the story. No.
Where's her development?
They made her obsessive.
Yeah,
they made her a stalker. They made her a fangirl and called her garbage and a stupid idiot, and then they killed her.
Yeah.
On purpose.
The Mary Sue has a really good, a few little statements I would like to read. One thing to note is that this was Chuck Winding's comic. He was supposed to have this series of Dark Visions, but then he was fired by Marvel.
Backstory, guys, if you don't know, Chuck Wendig is the guy who wrote the Aftermath series. So that was the events of the fall of the Empire, more about Han and Leia, Ben Solo being born or conceived and then born, that whole thing. So he wrote that series, just so you know.
The quote
so he has Star Wars experience.
It is worth noting that Chuck Wendig, who was originally slated to write this Vader series prior to being fired by Marvel, tweeted that his original idea for the story was about a male morgue attendant who became obsessed with Vader, and yet it was changed to a woman. What I think Mary Sue, or this author of this Mary Sue article, and of course we will post a link to it when we write the description for this live chat. But I think this sums up what we're trying to say, or I've been trying to say. She says, "I'm sure I'll be labeled a hypocrite for this because of my open dislike of certain villains and ships associated with them. But there's nothing good that's in this comic. Women don't need morality tales about how bad boys will actually kill them, or comics painting them as being troubled and crazy. If we praise Imperial fanboys in the canon with characters like Hux or even Kylo Ren, we can't treat women as being insane for the same reasons." And you do have this Vader type worship in this community. Like you have people who love Vader and put him on this altar. Why is it that the fanboys who celebrate the villain are okay, but the girls that have crushes on the villains are not?
Oh, it's a huge double standard.
Yeah.
Jared Montag with another super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you for your responses. You are right. We need more backstory and explanation to truly appreciate it for what it is. All we have is a stereotype.
Yeah.
Exactly. And are there parts of this fandom that are obsessive? Yes. There's no denying that. But there's absolutely no difference to what the women do in this fandom. There's no difference from what guys have done with hanging the picture of Leia up in their rooms with a metal bikini on.
That's what I was trying to say. Like how they feel.
What's the difference? There's no difference. A man with the picture of Leia on the beach in her metal bikini and ogling over that, and to what certain women in this fandom do to Poe, Finn, Hux, or Kylo Ren. What's the difference? Please tell me. I'm actually legit asking. If anyone is listening that is not agreeing with what we're saying, please tell me the difference.
Yeah, like we that's what I was
TikTok.
saying. We
Thank you, Jared.
Other opinions. So I will say
Rural Farm Boy said no difference, so I'm fine with that.
Well, I will say
I dropped my mic, but it's expensive.
Kylo Ren in his shirtless scene was done with so much more psychological subtext and respect than Leia in a bikini. If we're gonna get down to details, Leia was dressed as a slave girl. Kylo Ren in his shirtless scene decided to stay shirtless, although there was a cow right beside him. Kylo Ren, the reason that he didn't wear a shirt, yes, you can say that he did it because he looked good, and Rian Johnson said as much. But in the film, it is to show that he's actually a man underneath all of that costume that basically suffocates him. And it's symbolic of that. Like Rey is starting to see him not as this monster, but as a man with human feelings and vulnerabilities, and there is more than one side to this story, and that's symbolic in that scene. Yes, it's a nice scene to look at, but there's more meaning if you look. So it's in some ways so much more respectful than how George Lucas treated Leia in that scene.
Mm-hmm. Completely. I was reading some of the comments. Yes, exactly. Marjorie Whitethorn Solo said, but is that such an issue, though? Do we need to be cautioned on being obsessive? Caution the fanboys on being hateful and hurtful.
Amen.
But being a fan, isn't obsessing over stupid details part of the fun? Exactly. Like what we as this sequel trilogy community, Star Wars community that sees the good in everything we're looking at and the bad along with it, but we're keeping the positivity. I think that's healthy obsession. Now, can that be taken too far? Of course it can. Anything can be taken a little bit too far, and even more far to the point where it gets dangerous. But you can say the exact same thing about the fanboys or the prequel lover, like whatever you want to call them, but the people who are being hateful and attacking, not just through this comic, but in comment sections all over the interwebs. You could easily say that, aren't they just as obsessive? And then you get into the realm of, well, eye for an eye. Well, you guys, you deserve to feel attacked because Star Wars or Disney and Lucasfilm completely attacked us and attacked Luke Skywalker. And then, that gets into the realm of everything else that's been talked about for years now. So what is this? What is Star Wars if it's not an obsession? It's just a film. It's just a film series with just characters. Then what is Star Wars Celebration if not an obsessive fest in a bunch of conference halls?
Well, it's also fans turning on other fans.
Right.
I mean, it's like a betrayal. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I mean, yeah. So everyone will have their own opinion about this comic. Everyone will have their own opinion about this fandom. Everyone will have their own opinion about Star Wars. My opinion, and I know 100%, I can speak for Emrys as well, that our opinion about this comic is that it was an attack. Whether it was malicious or whether it was poking fun or whatever its intention may be, it was deliberate. whatever it ended up being or ends up being, or whatever the intent was behind it, we feel it was deliberate. It wasn't just, oh, we needed a character. And so what was the whole point of this comic then?
What is the
except
theme?
To attack this part of the fandom? What is the point and the theme of this comic? Number 3. To show how evil Vader can be. That could be done in a million other different ways. To show how wrecked he was, obviously we know he poured all his hatred and his malice into bleeding his kyber crystal, and for a split second he had an ounce of doubt, and that was completely squashed. So we know it's in Vader to do this, but why did we need to see it just like this?
If we go by a story analysis, like we're reading a literary analysis of this comic, the question that you always ask is, what does the protagonist learn at the very end? The protagonist always learned something. What the protagonist learned is that she was trash and that she deserved to die.
Well, now she can't learn anything because she's dead.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is the whole theme of this, if you ask what is the didactic lesson that the audience is supposed to learn through the protagonist's journey, is that obsessive fandom equals that you're going to die from the villain that you have a crush on. That's what you learn. You learn, don't have a crush on the bad boy because you'll end up in trouble. You'll end up dead. And it really does remind me of some of those cautionary fairy tales that girls were told about relationships and romances. But there's other ways to do that. And that's why, if you go by thematic understanding, that is the core of this novel or of this comic book, of do not have obsessions and do not stalk or do not have crushes on villains. And I will say that, yeah, in the real world, that is something that you should know and learn. But
there's so many other people besides us, men and women, who see exactly what we have seen from this comic. Amanda Sennett said, I watched Rebel Scum talk about this. Guys, Rebel Scum podcast is awesome. Go check them out on YouTube. They are a fun bunch, and you should go subscribe to them. Like, whoa. Amanda Sennett says, I watched Rebel Scum talk about this, and he's not a hardcore Reylo. I think you're talking about what's his name?
James
Quinn.
Brock.
No. It wasn't James and Brock. It was James and I want to say Aaron Quinn. He's not a hardcore Reylo. And let me know, Amanda, if you're talking about James or you're talking about Aaron. But she says he thinks it was deliberate too, and it had 0 point to be added to canon. Everyone sees it. Exactly. And it's what I said before. What was the point? What was the point, and how does this even feed the main character of this series, the character that this series is named after, Darth Vader? What is this purpose then? Yeah. So there was 0 point to this comic except for it to be an insult. And how a certain group of people see the other half of the fandom. Serini also said, at this point in time, we have so much proof for Reylo becoming canon that this comic is nothing but a dust particle. We are still going to win regardless. Amen. First off. Secondly, it will definitely be a dust particle after this live stream. So thank you for that comment. Yes, Bendemption is coming. It certainly is. Yep. Ava Moss said, my mom knows nothing about the sequel trilogy, and I explained the comic to her, and she was disgusted and aghast. Yeah.
I would just say, it's hard to, but be patient with people that don't see it.
Yes, it's very hard to not go, I told you so. For hi Abigail, hi Bookworm, hi everyone new coming into the stream. It is hard because naturally you want, when you've been such a vocal supporter and ambassador to something like this, and someone just doesn't see it, and finally the proof is all there. It's hard not to say, well, I told you so. But we have to just be patient. Like you said, Emrys, we have to be patient. I'll let you continue.
Oh no, I'm glad you took it over. I will say, I am not, as many of you heard, I'm rambling, and it's because I'm having a hard time articulating in a logical, analytical way because I feel just very emotionally, I won't say it polluted my mind or I've thought of it all day long or anything like that. I just feel like this is just part of the toxicity of being a Star Wars fan. And I think beyond this comic, I'm just tired of dealing with the toxic fandom. Like,
it's also, Ava Moss said too, it's so hard to keep advocating when the chips are down. She says it's so hard to make progress when cast members make passive aggressive comments. Yeah. That's so true, because you have comments like Mark Hamill's, which I will not get into again, but you have comments like Mark Hamill's, who is very much entitled to his opinion. He has been a huge champion of Star Wars, but he's human and he has his own feelings. You have Daisy, who now has grown up with this trilogy and acting in it, and she does have her personal opinions about it. She can only say so much. So when she's point blank asked about Reylo, obviously, thanks, Rural. Thank you so much. Yeah, people smash the like button. Without talking about Reylo, she had to talk about Reylo. And these cast members are hit with a barrage of these questions, and they have to keep bobbing and diving and weaving to not truly answer them. And that's hard when you have to promote this film. Because how can you promote a film when you can't really talk about anything except maybe your costume? But even then, you can only say, yeah, I really dug my pants. So the things that she says, personally, you have to hear how she worded it. Personally, she can't get behind Reylo in the way the relationship is now after the events of Crate, which she's right. Let's step back and see what she's actually saying. She is right. She can't get behind it, and neither can any of us probably on this channel and in this live stream and in this community. We can't get behind her and Kylo Ren as the relationship stands right now. And if Reylo means Rey and Kylo Ren, then yeah, we agree with her. but they, as actors, don't owe us anything. We're not owed anything, just like Rural said. They don't owe us anything.
No.
So, but then right after that, she talked of redemption. So there's the light at the end of this tunnel. And Reylo, most Reylos, it has always been the ship of Rey and Ben Solo. And that's the light at the end of the tunnel. That's the Bendemption, the Rendemption, redemption, whatever you want to call it. But the actors don't owe us anything, and they are entitled to their own opinions. But I feel as far as promoting a film and being a champion for the film that you've been in, it's hard, but they really should. I'm talking about certain actors right now that can be deemed from the way I'm about to say this. Certain actors should know when to just keep their mouth shut and let the fandom heal.
Well, and they also should not in any way taint the movie that people have not seen.
Right.
And that's the whole idea with what Daisy said. And I'm not trying to hate on Daisy, or, because I cannot imagine the fatigue, the exhaustion, the stress, the do's and do nots, the red tape, the every legal thing that she has to remind herself to say and not say. I cannot imagine how she and everyone feels. But I also think that there needs to be a caution that, and even the interviewer needs to be respectful, that you don't want to put the celebrity in a spot where they give their personal opinion on a story or character plot development, because it just gives parts of the fandom ammo when they haven't even seen the movie. And when you see a movie, you should come in clean with being able to inform your own opinion and not have a celebrity's voice in the back of your mind. Because I know I love Daisy Ridley. I think she is the perfect Rey. I cannot think of another actress to play that. And so it's kind of sad to see her even say something or give the impression of being negative about Reylo. And so I just wish that they could have some training of how to not personally state your opinion until audiences have seen the movie and can form their own.
I want to hit up what Marjorie said real quick. Hold on, I got to go back up to it. Marjorie, you said, I don't think it's fair to say that all Reylos mean Ben and Rey, much like the villain fantasy, they're allowed to want Kylo and Rey. Personally, I want Ben and Rey, but others are allowed their fantasies. Absolutely. And if it came across that I said us as a Reylo community mean Ben and Rey, then I misspoke. I certainly meant to say what you just wrote, that it's just fine, whatever you want, whatever you ship. I was saying for this channel and for a lot of the Reylo community that we have spoke with, and from what I've witnessed and read, in my personal opinion, from what I've seen, most of the Reylo community want Ben and Rey together. And that's what Reylo means to them. Not saying it's everyone, not saying that they're not the people who don't want that and they want Rey with Kylo, and that's what Reylo means to them. Not saying that's wrong, not saying that they're not allowed to have that ship or that vision or that fantasy or whatever. I'm just saying, from what I've witnessed, for a lot of Reylos, it means Ben and Rey. But I'm not digging on anyone else's ship. I'm certainly not meaning to. So if I misspoke, I apologize. So I just wanted to hit that question up, or that statement up, Marjorie. But thank you for writing that. Oh yeah, Marjorie, we're good. All good. Like Mother Goose said, a lot of people take these actors' statements way too seriously. They're actors. They aren't necessarily even Star Wars fans, and they can only say what they can say at this point.
I say, if it's okay with you, Luthien, I say we have sipped the bitter brew of this tea, of this fandom.
Long enough.
Long enough.
Yeah.
And can we get to more positive things?
We sure can. FN 1189 just sent us a super chat. So we'll end on that super chat as far as, talking about the different actors and this comic and all that. So thank you for the super chat, FN1189. Hopefully I'm not pot stirring. In 2017, I remember hearing Daisy talk about how she felt there shouldn't be romance for Rey. So I'm not too surprised about Daisy's recent thoughts on Reylo. Just my thoughts. Wink. Thank you so much for the super chat, FN1189. I agree. I think Daisy probably, as the actor portraying the character, I'm sure she can see the vision for Rey, what that vision is, where it's going to end up, and being content with that. That doesn't mean she agrees with it. That doesn't mean she wouldn't want to see it go in a different direction. There's a huge difference to having your own opinion and stating your own opinion. It's not like this fandom is healthy right now. Sure, there's a lot of positive people coming out, creating positive content, creating positive channels, trying to get this fandom to steer this fandom away from the negativity. And it's coming from a lot of different sides. It's not just split in half. There are factions here, just like as big as the galaxy. And some don't even realize this. Some of these actors aren't even on social media to probably even know that there's a huge divide. And if they know about the divide, I don't know if they know how big it actually is. That being said, I feel they do have an obligation to, for the ones who are on social media and who are still on social media, I feel that they do have, this isn't just like going around and promoting a normal film. Star Wars, Narnia, I mean, this is Lord of the Rings. This is a whole world that's been built. So I feel that actors have a bit more of a bigger responsibility in that they might not agree, but they still have to be an ambassador. And whatever good they can find, they need to talk about that. So I totally agree. I'm not surprised about Daisy's recent thoughts. When I saw the whole clip, it didn't shock me at all, frankly. But I still feel that the actors need to be as big of champions as they possibly can. And for the most part, I feel they've done a tremendously good job. Hands down.
I think Adam Driver is one of the best interviewees that handles this well.
and Jonas, the guy who plays Chewie. Oh my God. He is just ecstatic to be in these films. He wants to do more. I mean, talk about an amazing Star Wars ambassador. I mean, he's been in 4 of these films now, and it's refreshing. It is so refreshing because he's a fan too. It sucks because we're so invested. So you can't help but take it just a tad bit personally when the actors come out and say something that goes against everything that you felt these films and these characters stood for.
Have fun at your work. May the force be with you. What I was going to say about Adam Driver is he's so good about not answering the questions.
Yes.
Like,
oh my God. Yes.
I love it. There was one where the interviewer was like, "Well, you wrapped up filming on Star Wars," and he was like, "Did we wrap up filming?"
Yes, he is the grand master of the dodge.
Yeah.
I mean, hello. FN1189 again for a super chat. Thank you so much. I went to Celebration this month, and honestly, I didn't see any signs of a divide within the fandom, which is amazing.
That is so good to hear.
Which a lot of us, so many people prayed for, that nothing would happen at Celebration, that people could just go there, and whether they were there or whether they were watching all the live streams, and I mean all of them, whether they were being blacked out or not, I'm so glad that you went and you saw no signs of that. It speaks volumes as to how far the community has come since The Last Jedi, since the sequel trilogy came out, period. So yeah, that's awesome. So FN1189, thank you so much for the super chat, and I'm so glad you didn't see signs of a divide, and I hope you had a great time at Celebration. And it was awesome that Kelly Marie Tran and Ahmed Best got the receptions that they both did, because they deserved it completely and utterly. So thank you for both super chats. But yeah, we're gonna move on now, away from this darkest of brewed teas.
This bitter brew.
That's full of acid.
Gal says, "I think Adam is a Reylo." I think so too, because he has said he's giggled when someone has told him about Reylo. He has said things like, "Well, you know,"
for the people who've had to leave, sorry to interrupt you. For the people who had to leave, bye. I see if you had to go.
Thanks,
Dale, I think you said ta-ta for now. I don't know if you're saying bye to us or you're saying bye to someone else, but for the people who, this chat's going super fast. But for all who've had to bounce the chat, thank you for coming. So, okay. Go.
Ooh, diminished comment. Positive news. Hot Topic is now selling an official Reylo shirt.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Take my dollars. Take my monies.
And just to support the Reylo artists out there, go check out Society 6. I know there are a couple of others. I think Red Bubble, I think, is one.
Yeah, Red Bubble. Mm-hmm. Etsy, there's a lot of stuff on Etsy.
There are a lot of our Reylo artists that make beautiful t-shirts and mouse pads and pencil cases, and even comforters. There are comforters that they can print the artwork on. So I have Reylo t-shirts, and I bought them all from Society 6, and they're just awesome. They're just awesome.
I don't know if my husband would go for a Reylo comforter. Like, half the time you fall asleep on the couch anyway, so don't worry about it. That's not a dig at our relationship. Literally, like, he gets comfortable on the couch and he falls asleep, and that's where he stays. So, because he's like too comfortable to move. So, no, our relationship's fine. He just is lazy and he falls asleep on the couch.
I wore my Reylo t-shirt to Avengers Affinity War. It was awesome.
Oh my God, yeah. That's right. I totally forgot you did that.
I received some looks from disgruntled men out there, and women, as they saw me with my Kylo Ren and Rey shirt. But it was fun. It was fun. I boldly proclaimed Reylo to that crowd.
Loud and proud.
Loud and proud.
Okay, people, oh my God, King of Misfortune, what are you doing to me? Imagine Adam Driver in a film with John Bernthal and Ben Barnes. Kylo Ren, the Punisher, and Prince Caspian all together. I can't. I can't imagine that because my mind gone done exploded. So thanks, King of Misfortune. We have to end the live stream now because I can't think except about that.
You broke her.
You broke me. Oh my God, who said Reylo onesies? Where to go? Where to go? Blue Bantha Milk Company's in the house. Guys, go subscribe to their channel because they're dope. I would put, if I had children, I would put Reylo onesies on them. Oh yeah. Yeah, so leaks. Let's talk leaks. For people who don't want to talk leaks,
we love you.
We're going to talk about it, and we love you, but we're going to talk about them. The only leak that I know of is someone mentioned there's going to be some smooching, and I'm like, duh, how is this a leak? So guys, tell us the leaks that you know of. It's been a hot second, so I'm not totally caught up with the leaks. So drop them in the comments, guys. If you don't want to hear leaks, turn off your live chat. But
we need some
I don't know most of them
to drink. Some sweetened. I'm a Southern girl.
Yeah. Oh, FN1189 with another super chat. Thank you. If Daisy is at D23 this year, hopefully she pesters Josh Gad for Frozen 2 spoilers. Oh my God, yes.
Yes, that's awesome.
I want Daisy to do the exact thing that Josh did to her on the set of
the
Murder on the Orient Express.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
I want her to do it to him. That would be hysterical.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That sketch that she did with Judi Dench is one of my favorites. Yep. Oh, that is epic.
So I guess one of the leaks is Force Flash fighting and Han coming back to Kylo as some sort of ghost-ish. So the Oracle leak. Oh, we talked about the Oracle in one of our last live chats. Kylo dealing with his love for Rey. So those types of leaks, like Kylo dealing with his love for Rey, it's kind of, for us personally, for Emerson and myself, it's kind of like, well, duh, he's going to have to be dealing with his love for Rey. I mean, that's obvious. So I don't hold that leak with much regard because it feels like something like we already knew. As far as Force Flash fights, so that leak has come out, and it deals with what we see in the beginning of the teaser trailer. So that leak is saying that what's happening is the Force bonds are still happening, but they're happening on the most epic of scales. And so these bonds are opening up, but they're so epic that they only open up in times of anger. So they're not together, as in what we see in that, like, I can't even describe this correctly. So the example is that what we see in the beginning of the teaser trailer, they're not actually present, as in even on the same planet, but it's a huge force bond. And it's so strong that now Kylo has been flying, and now this bond is opening up. Rey feels it, and that's probably why she's breathing heavy, just kind of like you saw in The Last Jedi, where she knows it's happening, they can feel it. And in the novelization, it talks about how what she's feeling as she can feel the bond, like it's this tickle in the back of her mind or whatever. Very ASMR. So this bond opens up. Kylo's flying his TIE. She's prepping for it, and she jumps over the tie, but she slashes it with her lightsaber and actually like pretty much destroys that tie. And he obviously survives and gets out, and then they duel. Now, I still feel it's a training of sorts because I don't think they can kill one another. And the leaks say that this type of dueling force bond happens frequently, as in probably more than once, meaning it happens either 3 or 4 more times. We don't know how long these last. It could last as a little bit longer than their other force bonds in The Last Jedi. So, but what I feel is happening is they're dueling. They're getting out this pent-up anger they have towards each other, feeling that they both abandon each other. Kylo feels like Rey abandoned him because he said, or she said, I will help you. Well, then what does she do? She leaves him on crate. And Rey feels the opposite, like, no, you were supposed to join me. And then you reached your hand out as Kylo Ren, not Ben Solo, and you asked me to join you, but you asked as Kylo Ren. So it's a lover's quarrel, basically, in force bond form.
Yeah.
But also they can't kill each other, especially Kylo can't kill Rey. So I feel that he's also sizing her up at this point, seeing what she can do, how powerful she's become in a year's time. So that's what I feel about this force flash fighting, whatever you want to call it. I feel that they're able to get out this anger before they truly come together and work this out for the greater good, not only of their relationship, but for the galaxy. They have to work it out somehow. And we have to see them together, but not actually together. I don't think any of that made sense, but that's what the leak entails. And that's my thoughts on the leak. It's probably going to be way bigger than that.
Yeah. I think even if they were appearing to each other, not a force bond, I truly believe that Kylo Ren or Ben Solo would never come to the point of wanting to harm, like actually hurt Rey physically.
Correct.
I can see them dueling and fighting, a very Han and Leia style, very like a lover's quarrel where you just scream and cry and things of that nature. But I can never see him where he gets to the point where he wants to hurt her, and I hope we never do. I can
certainly see a point where he might still be besting her, because we need to see him best her. And when I say that, I don't mean like, hurt her.
No.
But we need to like, she's got to have some things that she just can't do yet. And even though this force bond is so powerful and she's channeling his capabilities and he's channeling hers, there's still a level of non-training there. And we need to see her struggle a bit. And yes, she does this awesome matrixy type move over the tie, but we need to see her struggle a little bit here in the Force. And I want him to best her while dueling. And I want him to look at her, because she has her scar covered up. I want him to acknowledge that. I want him to say, oh, are you embarrassed of that wound you got while we fought together? Like, why don't you want people to see that? Or do you not want people to know about us? I want him to get under her skin like that. But not,
Oh, I mean, that's what he's good at. He's good at telling her the truth and then her becoming extremely angry at him for it.
Yes.
I can definitely see that. I think she needs training, and I think even the literature has foreshadowed that. I mean, that was their first interaction. You need a teacher. I can show you the ways of the Force. And of course, there has been training exchange, but not flat out training that she needs. We have the Poe Dameron comics where C-3PO cannot translate perfectly those Jedi texts. And then
bye, Abigail. Thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Bye, Abigail. And then we have the visual dictionary where if the Ben's calligraphy set is actually him learning about sacred Jedi writings or learning to do something about Jedi scripts or something of that nature. So I think there's that hint that Ben has been learning about these ancient Jedi teaching. And I think he can teach her that. I also think that during the proposal scene, she almost, according to the novelization, she almost took his hand because she realized here was this man who was offered to teach her from the beginning, and he could show her and explain to her all these powers, and no one can. Rian Johnson talked about how when she looks at that mirror, her hero's journey, Rey's hero's journey, is to realize who is going to show her how to use these powers and help her become who she's meant to be. Well, who does she see in that mirror's reflection?
I feel like I can't remember who said it in the chat, but definitely, I mean, it's been over a year. Rey probably has a huge bounty on her head.
Oh, yeah.
And because she is the one who killed Snoke. So obviously, we know she didn't. We know Ben killed Snoke. But he had to keep this facade up of Rey killing him. So I can see her going, oh, guys, just watch some of the language in the chat. It hasn't been F-bombs, but I'm allowing some of it to come through, but just be a little careful about the language you use. We don't want to get flagged for anything, but I'm allowing it because in the context of what you guys are saying, but just be a little bit more mindful is all we request. So I can see one of these duels being, why are you telling people that I killed Snoke? Because you did. I mean, I can see Rey being ticked about that, as she should be, because she didn't kill him. And I can definitely see that being a part of the duels. And I can also see, we talked about in our live stream, it's okay, Marjorie, and whoever else did that, no worries. Like, I'm not upset. I'll be the first to admit I curse like a sailor, but we got to make sure we don't get we don't get flagged. So yeah, M can tell you, my language is colorful, to say the least. And when my family listens back to any podcasts or whatever, they're like, man, it doesn't sound like you. You're not cursing, which says a lot. But it'd be so cool if, in our live with Vincent Vendetta, we talked about Kerry Russell's character possibly being Rey's sister. But wouldn't it be so dope if she ends up being Rey's sister, but also the bounty hunter who is hunting Rey?
Ooh.
Yeah. You heard it here first on Girls with Sabers, guys. What if Kerry Russell's character Zori is the bounty hunter that is hunting Rey? And it ends up being Rey's long-lost sister. Not mom, but sister. Even if she wasn't a sister, what if it's a bounty hunter hunting Rey? That'd be so cool.
I echo Reylo Rising. That would be dope.
Yeah. That'd be so cool. I mean, yeah, technically she's 20 years older than Daisy Ridley and Rey's character, but she could totally play it younger.
And that would be good for Rey to hear. Is Rey was so young when her parents sold her.
Her parents, quote unquote. I mean,
I don't think that. Well, we've discussed that, but
we've discussed it, and we agree, and yet we do disagree, and we can see other avenues. But yeah.
But it'd be interesting. Okay, let's just say if they don't retcon it.
Uh-huh.
Let's say if Kerry Russell's character could talk to her about and confirm who her parents really were and what they were actually like, and say, basically, it's a good thing that you don't remember, or something of that nature, where truth can be told to her. It'd be interesting to see. And is Carrie the Mandalorian? Has that is her costume like it was in the poster? Does she have that Mandalorian?
I believe. Yes.
Does that mean that Rey is a Mandalorian?
That's also very possible.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
It's very possible.
I'm sorry if that hurt anyone.
Oh my god, that was so loud, but it was awesome at the same time.
I couldn't help it. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Okay.
Why do I hear dogs barking?
Hey, I am a soprano.
Yeah. I'm an alto, so we could go on tangents about that. Yeah. So, oh yeah, Carrie Russell being her sister, talking about her family. Obviously, Ben has never lied to Rey, but he only saw so much. He only saw what Rey has seen and has remembered. But it'd be interesting to get more backstory without it being retconned. And Rey's parents were crap. They were horrible people. But now the person sent to kill Rey to finish this job, Palpatine could have sent her. She realizes, oh my God, this is my sister, and I can't kill her. I don't know. I feel, I don't know. I just think however that could play out would be dope.
I'm all for it. And I'm like, you pointed out, I think it was our second podcast that we ever did, that J.J. Abrams always casts people that he's worked with in the past.
Yeah.
It would be awesome if Carrie Russell was cast. I mean, we recorded that, I think, on September 22nd. And
I called Carrie being in this film months before she was cast.
And you were talking about how she could be her mother because both Carrie and Daisy have a similar frame to them, and things of that nature. And it would be a nice side by side. So I can definitely see them as family members. I think that'd be awesome. And that would give Rey so much closure, and a family member did come back for her.
Yes.
In an unexpected way.
Yes. There's so many possibilities.
Yes.
So many possibilities that could actually be very, very beautiful. Obviously, we feel the main person to come back for Rey is Ben Solo. But
do you want to talk about how people believe when the most beautiful part of that trailer, when Kylo Ren takes that guy down?
Mushy Girl just said Carrie could be an ant as well. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Carrie could be an ant. She would be old enough to portray that, of course. So many possibilities. Sister, aunt, cousin. Yeah, alike. But let's talk about real quick. We've gone 93 minutes so far, so we'll be wrapping up shortly, but we'll get into this part of the trailer where Kylo is in that forest. There's smoke, it's dark red, and he just freaking clotheslines and pile drives that dude into the ground.
It is beautiful. Oh my goodness. I seriously watch that GIF every single day. I'm not exaggerating. No hyperbole. I watch that GIF almost every single day. I'll find it somewhere on Tumblr, and it's I can't stop watching it. It is absolutely beautiful. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I can't stop my
that scene is more yummy to me. And yeah, I said yummy. That scene is more yummy to me than his shirtless scene in The Last Jedi. That's my personal opinion.
Mine
like
too.
him pile drive, like he could have choked him in the Force. He could have done so many other things. And what did he do? He pile drived him into the ground. That is dope.
Oh,
so good. So good. Yum. The beautiful thing about that, more than just the way that is aesthetically pleasing to my eyes, is that that scene, a lot of fans are feeling that is the scene that it looks very dreamlike as far as the aesthetics of the background, the red, the smoke, the battle in itself. In the Force Awakens novel, we read about Rey's a dream she has where she hears fighting in the background, and her describing this dream is exactly how this forest is, and it's in a forest. There's forest, it's dark, there's smoke, there's sounds of a battle all around her, and that's when she hears the voice, and she hears, "Stay here, I'll come back for you, sweetheart." So what a lot of people are thinking is this is the battle that she heard in her dream. This is where she could be hurt. She could be hiding somewhere. She could have had the Force taken away from her, which is canon. That ability to have the Force taken away from you or stripped of you is canon. That Kylo will turn to her in this moment and say, "Stay here, I'll come back for you." And then he goes and lays waste, basically.
Oh my goodness.
And I think that is a dope concept.
I have the page of that novel opened if you want me to read it.
Yeah.
Okay. In the blink of the eye, she was kneeling in a forest. She stood shivering. Deep in the forest, she heard the sounds of war, the ping of blasters, the sizzle of lightsabers, death. Someone spoke behind her, calm, kind, and eerily familiar. "Stay here, I'll come back for you." She peered into the darkness between the trees. "Where are you?" "I'll come back, sweetheart. I promise."
What I love is the plural. She heard the sizzle of lightsabers.
I was just about to say the same thing. I made Luthien a soprano.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. There I have moments. Yep. Oh my god, King of Misfortune. What if they lose their Force bond but get it back after an impassioned first kiss? True love's first kiss. Oh god, I'm dying. Oh god. Oh my god, I'm dead. Oh.
Oh god.
Can't handle it.
You broke Luthien again.
True love's first kiss, guys. Get a shockwave that ripples through the whole galaxy.
You broke her. What have you done, guys? What have you done?
Thanks, guys, for coming. It's been a beautiful 98 minutes. Oh my god. Oh man. I'm all right.
Okay, everyone take a deep breath. I think we'll need the oxygen.
Right? Oh man. Okay.
Ooh, okay. Man, how can you top that? You can't.
We can't.
You can't.
Reylo, yeah, diminished comet. Reylo is going to kill us all in December. I truly feel that. I mean, people, no spoilers. I have not seen Endgame yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow. I feel like episode 9 for the Reylos, like that's our Endgame. That is Endgame for us.
Is it ever?
And not that, I mean, you can have both. You can have Avengers, you can have Marvel, and you can have Star Wars. I don't believe in, picking one or the other. But I feel for the Reylos, the Rise of Skywalker is going to be our Endgame, and we are going to spontaneously combust
I've
in that theater.
I have got to buy 2 things of popcorn, one for my tears and one for my actual popcorn, because I think I'll need a bucket or sack or something of that nature, because I think I'm going to cry and cry nonstop. It'll be tears of joy and tears of sadness, and just we'll feel all the feels. It will be, yeah. We'll all need.
Diminished Comments said that's the day we drink fanboy tears. Take some big cups. I want a chalice, and written like bedazzled on the side it says fanboy tears, and then I can drink my Coke, because it's Coke, not Pepsi. Don't kill me. And if all they serve is Pepsi, I'm gonna get a Dr. Pepper. That's gonna be sitting right beside me, and then I can just drink my fanboy tears out of my chalice. And then my popcorn is going to have a bedazzled thing on the side that says fanboy hearts. Like, what's her face? Charlize Theron in The Huntsman. She eats those bird hearts or whatever the heck. Man. I mean, yeah, I'll eat fanboy hearts. That's really sick and wrong. But
that's like Reylo witchcraft or something.
Did I go was it a little too much? Did I go a little bit too far? Was it a little heavy?
You went straight.
I lost people. 84 watching now. Yeah, I lost some folks there. I went full tilt.
You went
full tilt is right. I went a little too much.
You went Regina.
I went Regina on everyone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. True love's first kiss, guys. Space kiss, it's happening.
Well, Carrie Fisher said
Blue Bantha Milk, not far enough.
To finish comic, you went straight to the dark.
You did go straight to the dark for a pair of pretty eyes. Yep. Yeah. Ben's gonna save the Force-sensitive kids because his grandfather killed them.
That's our second video. Go check it out. Shameless plug.
Yes.
Sorry. Shameless plug.
Ben Solo will save the Force sensitives because his grandfather killed them. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
We gotta laugh. We started so horribly. we drank.
This has been the most insane 2 weeks, guys. Like, we coming off the celebration, which even though we weren't there, I mean, we were busting out live streams and like constantly on social media, like looking for every drop, watching every live stream. I mean, so that was it was an insane week and plus you had the anticipation of just everything at Celebration. So there's so many different factors. So you're completely balls tired from that. And now this week with all the controversy going around the interwebs, it's exhausting. So you can't help but be just a little punchy on a Saturday night.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Master Solo. What did I miss here? Hold on.
We're talking about Reylo twins and not us. Reylo twins as in actually born to Ben and Rey Solo. Do you know, we talked about this, but I don't think we've ever said it online. If Rey marries Ben and takes his name, her name will literally mean the only light. Rey Solo.
Oh my God!
The only hope will because Ben Solo, Ben the only hope. The only
hope and the only light.
The only light. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I'm dead again! Yeah, thank you.
I love killing her just for her reactions.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Continue.
Oh, we broke them too. We broke them.
Oh, good. Good. It's not just me.
Yes.
Holy cow. I'm exhausted.
Oh, Centennial Music says, I really want her to take his last name because she doesn't have one. Oh! We're killing each other in the Reylo community.
I feel like I'm in a glass case of emotion.
How Road says, LOL, this is amazing, and I'm scaring my husband with my giggling. I'm scaring my whole household. It's okay, girl.
I'm so glad my husband isn't here right now. Because he would just be like coming around the corner going, what the heck are you doing? I'm like, you know how you freak out about football? Yeah, this is my football.
Yes.
Which, yeah, is blasphemous because I love football too. But I'm just saying, just think about that for a second, okay, Hubs? Like, this is my football. And someone just scored a major touchdown, all right?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Blue Bantham Milk Company, sorry. Delirium is awesome. I completely agree. This is great. We started out so stressful, and now we're drinking in the sweet tears of a sweet brew. Luthien is drinking the tears. I'm just drinking tea. I don't know what's.
Oh my God, Gwendy Gale De Los Santos says, "Dang, I'm late to the party. If and when Rey marries Ben, she would literally be a Reylo."
Oh my gosh.
Done deal. Done deal.
Bianca.
I'm here for all of it.
Says her husband secretly wants in. Well, he's invited. All are welcome in our live streams.
Yeah. He doesn't need to hide.
Come on in. Come on out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We accept our Mel Reylos gladly.
You guys, I just have to say right now, please send all your good vibes. This is getting very selfish and personal. Please send all your good vibes to me and prayers and thoughts and well wishes, because tomorrow at 6 p.m., I am seeing Endgame. That is a 3-hour film, which means after all of the trailers, which I'll get to see the teaser again on the big screen.
Awesome.
Oh my flipping God.
Yeah.
Then, so that's a 3-hour film. So it's probably not going to be done until after all that stuff, 9:30. Then I have to come home, which takes like 10 minutes, and then sit through an hour and a half Game of Thrones episode, which is the Battle of Winterfell. You guys, please send me all your good thoughts and well wishes. I beg of you, because I have to work on Monday, and
gosh,
I don't know how I'm going to get through. So just send positive thoughts and prayers.
Bless your heart. Wendy85 is in the house. Hello.
Hi, Gwendy.
By the
Thanks,
way,
guys. Thanks, guys.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I did not give you your moment of good wishes. So right now.
No, that's okay. Gwendy being here is awesome, and it trumps whatever I have to say.
No. Everyone is giving you your good wishes and hopes and prayers.
I've been dodging spoilers, like duck, dive, dip, and dodging spoilers like cray.
I love Alex's spoiler. Reylo kills Thanos confirmed. I like that. I like that spoiler.
Okay, guys, I'm saying it right now. These are just my thoughts on Endgame. If anyone is just listening, this isn't what happens. These are just my thoughts on what's going to happen. Oh, Malcolm says, Luthien, all I'm going to say is be prepared. Man, I am taking Kleenex like whoa. Here are my thoughts. If you guys have seen it, don't say anything. If, whatever. These are just my thoughts about Endgame and what's going to happen. Here's my prediction. And I haven't read anything because I've been staying away from it like a plague. Thanos is dying. Iron Man's going to die. Going to die, but he's going to get the time stone, or Doctor Strange is going to do something and he's going to be able to be with Peggy. And probably maybe 1 or 2 other people are going to die. Obviously a lot of people are dead, but I'm talking main characters. Maybe 1 or 2 of the other Avengers may die. But other than that, main people dying, Thanos and Iron Man. We need a legit Iron Man statement. I don't know. I just I can't wait. I can't wait. What time is it? Less than 12 hours for me. I can't believe I've stayed away from spoilers this long. This is like watching an innocent child playing with a snake.
Okay, since we have about 9 minutes left, do you guys have
Yes.
any questions or any topics that we have not covered in this live stream that you want us to answer or talk about or discuss, or you guys take the floor? They're still wishing you goodwill.
Oh, thanks, guys. People said Luthien watched it twice already. Watched without spoilers. Best way to watch it. Awesome.
Bye.
Bye, Blue Bantha. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh, Bookworm Dazzle. Are you guys releasing any new video essays soon?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes. We basically
work on one right now.
Yeah, we schedule like at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance. And we have about 20 topics already in folders right now. So don't worry. We have plenty of podcasts and essays coming.
Yeah, we actually have one dropping tomorrow. We have a podcast.
Yes.
A really fun one. It's probably an hour, maybe, but maybe a little less. But it's a fun one. And yeah, don't know what time we'll be dropping, but yeah, we got some super chats now. FN1189, thank you so much. Hail Mary, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
He's praying for you, or she's praying for you, Luthien. Oh, we're spinning. We're spinning. Oh, okay. Let us know if you hear us, because we lost connection for a minute. Bushi Girl asked, who designed your cool logo? I did. I did. And then a new channel just dropped today called There Is Another. Well, he graciously sent us an email and did a few tweaks and redesigned, sharpened some of the images, because he has a much more sophisticated software than I do, and just added those really cool sabers that glow, and then he added the Jedi insignia at the very bottom. That was his lovely detail. So we are very grateful to There Is Another for helping us out there, and go check out his YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. Emrys, it was her original logo, and he just embellished on it and sharpened it up. But both of them did an amazing job in the logo. And Emrys does all of our cover art as well. All of the thumbnails you see, the design of them, the Reylo teapot, all of it. She does all of the thumbnails. I might come in and throw in a picture and what I feel would be cool, and I do help in that regard. But as far as their design, it's all Emrys, and I thank God every day that she is my partner in crime in this, this channel, because she is so talented.
I feel the same way with about Luthien. I mean, it's just amazing how well we work together, and it seems like where I am weak, she is strong, because there are things that she does, like she's a brilliant editor. As you can see from these live chats, I have a problem with rambling, and she'll just cut it off right then and there. Like video essays and things of that nature. She'll just streamline our video essays and build them up. We just work so well together. Like, I could not ask for a better partner. So she is definitely my Reylo twin. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you so much.
And soon, you guys will have the ability to see some of that if you so choose. One of the things that we've been working on is a Patreon account, and we wanted to give our subscribers and followers a more in-depth way of connecting with us, and we felt Patreon could definitely do that. So in the next few weeks, we will be launching our Patreon channel. So that's something upcoming, and we're excited about it. And we're still going to have YouTube. It's just another arm of Girls with Sabers that we're going to have.
And when we say that, like, when we say we're doing a Patreon, I want no stress on any of you to go and support us that way. I mean, just you watching, liking, comment. I mean, just watching it and being part of our community. You have no idea how much that means to us.
Yes.
I think I've said it in a past live stream. We have an encouragement folder, and we just collect comments and messages and things that you have written us, and I will check that. I'll just go through that folder on bad days and just read your comments and your notes of encouragement, and all of that means so much to us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And yeah, you just said it really good. People have asked about Girls with Sabers merch, and that is also in the works. Once we launch our Patreon, and that gets going again, it's just going to work in tandem with YouTube. So do not feel pressured into, coming into Patreon and feeling like you need to give us monetarily. What you already do for us as fans is out of this world, and you guys hit it out of the park every single time, and it's so humbling to us that after 116 minutes we still have 78 people in here. So you all mean the world to us. This Patreon channel that we're about to launch is just working in tandem now, and it's going to help us further Girls with Sabers. And with that, once that launches and that's underway, we will be able to concentrate on merchandise. And that's something you guys have asked for from the beginning. So you asked and you shall receive. So the next step will be merchandise, and we will plan on getting merch out there before episode 9 hits.
Yeah.
So, and we'll definitely let you guys know, of course, when that is active.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Well, I think we hit all angles.
Yes.
I hit all topics for this evening.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much. Guys and gals, thank you so much for sticking with us, for staying with us during the first half when we discussed a very difficult topic, and sticking around and hearing some of us fangirling and giggling. We really enjoy
and dying
out with you
multiple times. And thank you for not spoiling Endgame for me if you've seen it already, because I still have time. It's at 9:00. 9 hours to go. So
and pray for
I can do it. I can do it. I got this.
I still have to wait another day before I see Endgame. So
yeah. Don't forget to wear your Reylo shirt.
Oh, I'm going to. That is now a tradition. That's now true. If anyone says, why are you wearing this Reylo shirt? I'll say, because it's Endgame.
Yes. It scared my cat. I'm sorry. But yes, it's Endgame. It's appropriate.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yep. So yes, guys, thank you so much for coming to this live stream, sharing your thoughts, sharing your feelings, commiserating, fellowshipping. It means the world to us. And onward. Tomorrow's another day.
Yes.
To spread more positivity in this fandom.
Yes.
And we will be posting this live stream like we always do. Thank you guys for being so patient like you were with us getting the Vincent Vendetta live out. That had a lot of audio problems. And God bless our Reylo triplet at Chat, whose own channel is coming along so nicely. We're so happy for him. If you haven't yet, go check out at Chat. He drops dope videos and essays, and we love him. But he helped us with that audio. Thank you so much, at if you listen to this later. And but yes, thank you guys for all your love and your patience and support. And from Emerus and myself, we love you all. May the force be with you, and peace, love, and Reylo.
Peace, love, and Reylo, guys. Even during these difficult times,
Yep.
Reylo is in game, and may the force be with you.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.